Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. You know how much we love diving deep into powerful ideas, and today we're focusing on this whole concept of women's untapped potential.
Ooh, I love that.
We've got a collection of inspiring quotes all about women's empowerment, and there are some absolute gems in here. But there's one quote that really jumped out at me right away.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
All right, so this is a quote from a pretty prominent figure, and they said, "Women are the largest untapped reservoir of talent in the world."
Interesting.
Any guesses who said it?
You know, it sounds a lot like something Hillary Clinton would say.
You nailed it. It was Hillary Clinton. And I don't know about you, but that reservoir metaphor really struck me.
Yeah, that's a really powerful image, isn't it?
It is. It really makes you think about all this incredible potential just waiting to be unleashed.
Yeah, and it's coming from someone who has really walked the walk when it comes to advocating for women and girls.
Yeah.
I mean, think about her career. From First Lady to Secretary of State and beyond, she's always been a champion for women's rights and opportunities.
And what's interesting is that this quote isn't just about supporting women because it's the right thing to do, you know?
Right.
It's about recognizing a missed opportunity for society as a whole.
Absolutely.
If we're leaving all this talent on the table, we're all losing out, men and women, everyone.
Exactly. It's like we're sitting on this incredible resource, this wellspring of talent, but for some reason we're not fully utilizing it.
Okay, so there's this potential, this reservoir just waiting to be unleashed, but something's blocking it. So let's dive into those obstacles.
Let's do it.
One thing that really stood out in the source material was this idea of societal norms and expectations acting as these invisible barriers.
Yeah, those can be so insidious, can't they?
It's like we have these predetermined roles for women, and when they try to break out of those boxes, they face pushback.
Absolutely. And it's reflected in some of the other quotes in this collection, like Laurel Thatcher Ulrich's quote, "Well-behaved women seldom make history."
Oh, I love that quote.
It suggests that for women to truly make their mark, they have to challenge those expectations, even if it means going against the grain.
It's about being bold, about not being afraid to step outside those comfortable, predefined roles. But it's not just about societal pressures, is it? The source material also highlighted the lack of access to education and opportunities as a major obstacle.
Oh, absolutely. We can't talk about untapped potential without talking about education. It's the foundation for everything. And when girls are denied access to quality education, it limits their choices and their opportunities for the rest of their lives.
It's heartbreaking to think about how much potential is lost when girls are denied that fundamental right.
It really is. And there's a quote from Malala Yousafzai that just sums it up perfectly.
Oh yeah, I love Malala.
She said, "One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world." Imagine the possibilities if every girl had that chance.
Right. I mean, denying girls education isn't just a personal tragedy. It's a global loss.
Right.
We're missing out on so much potential. And, you know, even when women do manage to overcome these external barriers, there's still this internal struggle, this pressure to balance personal and professional life.
It's the juggling act, right?
It is. And the source material actually had this anecdote about Eleanor Roosevelt that I think really highlights this point.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that.
Do you remember the one about her steeping a tea bag?
I think so. Remind me.
It was this little glimpse into how she handled pressure. You know, she was known for her strength and grace.
Right.
But even she needed those moments of quiet reflection to recharge and regain her composure.
Makes you realize that even the most accomplished women face these same challenges.
Exactly. It's like this constant juggling act, trying to excel in their careers while also managing family responsibilities, societal expectations, you know, everything in between.
And it's exhausting. It can take a toll.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really highlights the resilience that women often have to develop just to navigate these complex expectations.
It's not always about those grand gestures, right? It's about finding ways to cope, to adapt, and to keep moving forward even in the face of all these pressures.
And speaking of resilience, that's one of the incredible strengths that the source material highlights. It's like women have this innate ability to adapt and overcome, even when the odds are stacked against them.
Totally agree. And it's something that I see time and time again in my own life and in the stories of the women I admire.
Well, me too.
And there was this quote from Elizabeth Edwards that I think sums up this spirit perfectly. She said something about adjusting your sails when the wind doesn't blow your way.
Oh, I love that quote. It speaks to that resourcefulness and adaptability that women often have to cultivate, They're constantly adjusting to changing circumstances, finding creative solutions, and just making things work, even when it's challenging.
It's like this inner strength that kicks in when they need it most.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's that boldness, that courage to speak up and claim their power.
Yes, that take charge attitude.
And, there's that fantastic Ayn Rand quote that just embodies this perfectly.
Which one is that? She said, "The question isn't who is going to let me, it's who is going to stop me."
Oh, I love her. It's that defiant spirit, that refusal to be silenced or to let others dictate their path.
That's the energy we need.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of another quote that really struck me. It's from Madeleine Albright.
Oh, yeah. What did she say?
She said, "It took me quite a long time to develop a voice, and now that I have it, I am not going to be silent."
That's so powerful. It highlights the journey many women go through to find their voice, to overcome those societal and internal barriers that try to keep them quiet.
And once they find that voice, it becomes this powerful force for change.
It's like they've unlocked this inner strength and are no longer afraid to use it.
I love that. And speaking of strength, the source material had this beautiful quote about women and their inherent power.
Oh, yeah. Which one was that?
It was from Diane Marie Child, and she said, "A woman is the full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and transform."
It really is a beautiful image, isn't it? It speaks to this inherent ability that women have, not just to bring new life into the world, but to nurture ideas, relationships, and communities, to make things grow and flourish.
It's like this creative force that's capable of so much more than we often give it credit for.
And it's about recognizing that women are not just consumers of culture, but creators, innovators, and agents of change.
Okay, so we've got these incredible strengths, resilience, courage, this nurturing power, but they're often held back by these stubborn barriers.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
So what does this all mean for our listeners? Why should they care about this untapped reservoir?
It's a great question. And, it's not just about women, it's about everyone. Tapping into this reservoir benefits us all.
That's such an important point.
I mean, think about it. Solving complex problems, driving innovation, building stronger communities. We need all hands on deck, and that includes the incredible talent and perspectives of women.
You're so right. It's not about women helping women. It's about everyone recognizing the value that women bring to the table and actively creating a world where that talent can flourish. So where do we go from here? What's the next step in this journey?
Well, that's a great question, and one that I think each of us needs to ponder individually. We've talked about the barriers women face, but what about the ones we might unconsciously put up? How can each of us in our own lives and work help tap into this incredible reservoir of talent?
That is a good question. It's about looking inward first, right?
Exactly.
Recognizing our own biases and assumptions, and then taking concrete actions to create a more equitable and supportive environment for women to thrive.
It might be mentoring a young woman, advocating for equal pay, or simply challenging those outdated norms that limit women's potential. The point is, we all have a role to play in unlocking this incredible source of talent that benefits us all.
Love that. It's about turning awareness into action. Each of us in our own way can be a part of creating a world where women's talent is not just recognized, but celebrated and empowered.
Precisely. It's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance, where we see women's potential not as a threat, but as a source of immense opportunity for growth, innovation, and positive change. And who knows, maybe one day we'll look back and wonder why we ever thought of this reservoir as untapped in the first place.
I love that vision. A world where women's talent is flowing freely, making the world a brighter, more vibrant, and more equitable place for everyone.
It's a vision worth striving for, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break and then come back to explore some more inspiring quotes and actionable steps to help unleash this incredible reservoir of talent. Stay tuned.
We rise from the shadows and dance in the light, unlocking our power, igniting the night. In this deep dive we find strength in our voice, every woman a leader with dreams and a choice.
Sometimes the barriers aren't just external, are they? There's this internal struggle that women often face.
Oh, absolutely.
This feeling that they're not enough,
Right.
that they don't have the power to make a difference.
Yeah, the source material really emphasized the importance of self-belief. Like there's this Alice Walker quote that really hit home.
Oh, yeah. What's that one?
She said, "The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any."
Wow, that's so true.
It's like we sometimes become our own worst enemies.
Yeah.
Letting self-doubt hold us back.
It's about recognizing that inner critic.
Right.
That voice that tells us we're not capable or worthy, and then choosing to challenge those thoughts.
Yes.
To replace them with a belief in our own abilities.
It's about making that conscious choice to step into our power, even when it feels uncomfortable or scary.
It can be so intimidating.
And that reminds me of another quote that really resonated with me. It's that one that says, "A woman who knows what she brings to the table is not afraid to eat alone."
Oh, I love that one.
It's about owning our worth and not being afraid to stand out, even when we're the only one standing.
There's a quiet confidence in that image, isn't there?
It really is.
It's about knowing that our value doesn't depend on external validation. We bring our own unique strengths and perspectives to the table, and that's something to be celebrated, not hidden.
So we've talked about these internal barriers, but what can we actually do to overcome them? What practical steps can women take to cultivate that self-belief and unleash their full potential?
Well, the source material highlighted the importance of mentorship.
Oh, yeah. Mentorship is so important.
Finding those people who champion you.
Yes.
Who see your potential, even when you might not see it yourself. It's like having a guide, someone who's been there before and can help you navigate those challenges, those moments of self-doubt.
Mentorship is such a powerful tool. It's about creating those connections, finding those women who inspire you, who lift you up, and who remind you of your own strength and worth.
And it's not just about receiving mentorship. It's about giving back, too.
Yes.
About being that source of support for other women.
Yeah.
It's about creating this network of empowerment where we lift each other up and celebrate each other's successes.
It's about creating a community where we can all learn and grow together. And speaking of learning and growth, the source material also emphasized the importance of education as a key to unlocking potential.
Couldn't agree more.
It's like Malala Yousafzai said, "One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world."
Education is the foundation for everything,
Yes.
It empowers women with knowledge, skills, and the confidence to pursue their dreams.
And it's not just about formal education, is it?
Right.
It's about lifelong learning, about seeking out opportunities to expand our horizons and challenge ourselves.
It's about that constant curiosity, that desire to keep learning and growing no matter what stage of life we're in.
I love that. And that growth often involves stepping outside our comfort zones.
Absolutely.
Challenging those societal norms and expectations that try to limit us.
Sometimes we got to shake things up.
Remember Laurel Thatcher Ulrich's quote?
Which one?
"Well-behaved women seldom make history."
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a powerful reminder that sometimes we have to break the mold to be bold and unconventional in order to make a real impact. It's about not letting those predefined roles dictate our lives.
It's about creating our own paths, defining success on our own terms. And that often involves speaking up, challenging the status quo, and advocating for change.
It's about using our voices to create a more just and equitable world, not just for ourselves, but for all women.
And there are so many incredible women out there who are doing just that, who are speaking truth to power and fighting for what's right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And their voices are so inspiring. Like, I'm thinking of Kamala Harris's powerful words. "No woman should be told she can't make decisions about her own body. When women's rights are under attack, we fight back."
That's a rallying cry right there.
It is. It's a reminder that we can't be complacent, that we have to actively fight for the rights and opportunities that are rightfully ours.
It's about standing up for ourselves and for each other, about creating a world where all women are valued, respected, and empowered to live their lives to the fullest.
I love that. And you know that empowerment is not about taking power away from men, is it?
Not at all.
It's about creating a world where everyone can thrive.
Exactly.
It's about recognizing that gender equality benefits everyone, not just women.
It's not a zero-sum game.
It's not. It's about moving beyond this outdated idea of one gender's gain is another's loss. We can all rise together.
We absolutely can. And there's a quote from Kavita Ramdas that really speaks to this idea of embracing both strength and compassion.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
She said, "We need women who are so strong they can be gentle, so educated they can be humble, so fierce they can be compassionate, so passionate they can be rational, and so disciplined they can be free."
Wow, that's beautiful.
It's a reminder that there's no one-size-fits-all definition of what it means to be a strong or successful woman.
Right.
We can be strong and gentle, fierce and compassionate. It's about embracing the full spectrum of our being.
It's about celebrating the diversity of women's experiences and perspectives, recognizing that our differences are our strengths. So we've talked about mentorship education, challenging societal norms, and embracing our authentic selves. What else stood out to you from the source material in terms of unleashing this potential?
Well, one thing that really resonated with me was the importance of celebrating women's achievements.
Yes.
Too often women's stories are overlooked or minimized.
I agree.
We need to actively lift each other up, amplify those voices, and make those contributions visible.
It's about changing the narrative, right?
Exactly. Shifting the focus from what women lack to what they bring to the table.
It's about highlighting those successes, those breakthroughs, those moments of brilliance that might otherwise go unnoticed.
And there's this beautiful quote from Yousafzai that captures this perfectly.
Oh, what is it?
She said, "Where there is a woman, there is magic."
I love that.
Let's make that magic visible.
Let's shine a light on the incredible things women are doing in every field imaginable. It's about creating a world where girls can see themselves reflected in positions of power, leadership, and influence. And it's not just about women supporting women, is it? We need men to be allies in this movement.
Absolutely. This is not just a women's issue. It's a human issue. We need men to step up, to challenge those outdated norms and structures that hold women back, and to actively support and champion women's leadership.
It's about recognizing that gender equality is in everyone's best interest.
Mm-hmm.
That a world where women thrive is a world where everyone thrives. And that reminds me of Bell Hooks' powerful quote.
Oh, which one?
She said, "Feminism is for everybody."
I love that one. It's so true.
It's not about creating a hierarchy. It's about creating a world where we can all be free to be our authentic selves.
Exactly. It's about dismantling those systems of oppression that limit not just women, but everyone. It's about creating a world where we can all be liberated from those restrictive roles and expectations.
So we've covered a lot of ground today, but this is just the beginning of the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
What final thoughts would you like to leave our listeners with?
I'd like to encourage everyone to reflect on their own role in this movement for women's empowerment.
Yes.
What actions can you take, no matter how small, to contribute to a more just and equitable world? It might be mentoring a young woman, calling out sexist language when you hear it, or simply making a conscious effort to amplify women's voices in your workplace or community. Every action, no matter how seemingly insignificant, can make a difference.
I love that. It's about turning awareness into action, about recognizing that we all have a part to play in creating a better world.
And it's about understanding that this journey is ongoing. There's no finish line. It's about constantly evolving, learning, and growing together. It's about creating a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and empowered to live a life of purpose and fulfillment.
It's a beautiful vision, and one that I think we can all strive for. Well, folks, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll explore some more inspiring quotes and practical strategies to help you tap into your own potential and make a real difference in the world. Stay tuned.
It's amazing.
We'll rise from the shadows and dance in the light, unlocking our power, igniting the night. In this deep dive we find strength in our voice, every woman a leader with dreams and a choice.
It's amazing how just looking at these quotes can get you thinking, Like, we've talked about all these barriers women face and the strengths they have to overcome them. But one thing that keeps coming up is this idea of dreams.
Dreams.
Yeah, the dreams that women have, the ones that fuel their potential.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's like those dreams are the seeds of possibility, the spark that ignites our ambition.
Exactly. And we need to protect those sparks.
Right, because there are so many things that try to put them out, make women feel like they should just play it safe and settle.
Exactly. And that's where this quote from Eleanor Roosevelt really comes in. She said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams."
I love that.
It's a good reminder that no matter what obstacles we face, we can't let them extinguish that inner fire that we have. It's so true. It's about holding on to that vision, that belief in ourselves and what we're capable of achieving, even when things get tough.
Yeah. And it's not just about believing in yourself, though, is it?
Right. It takes more than that.
You need people around you who believe in you, too.
The source material talked a lot about the importance of having a supportive community.
Yeah, people who encourage you and support you and remind you how awesome you are, even when you don't feel like it.
It's like having cheerleaders in your corner, always rooting for you.
And there's this great quote from Miranda Kerr that I think captures this perfectly.
I'm all ears.
She said, "Women are like flowers. If you want them to grow, give them sunshine, water, and lots of love.
Ah, that's such a sweet analogy.
It speaks to the power of encouragement, having those people in your life who are your sunshine and water.
And who celebrate your wins and help you through the tough times, too. Exactly. It's about surrounding yourself with those who believe in your potential, even when you might doubt yourself. But belief and support, those are just the starting point, right? At some point, you have to take action.
Well, yeah. You can't just sit around and wait for things to happen.
And that's where Beyoncé comes in.
Oh, I love her. What did she say?
She said, power is not given to you. You have to take it.
It's about being proactive, taking charge of your own life.
Exactly. It's about making those bold moves even when you're afraid, even when you don't have all the answers.
It's that I'm not going to let anyone stop me attitude that we talked about earlier. But sometimes taking those big, bold actions can feel overwhelming,
It can be scary to put yourself out there.
Where do we even begin?
Well, Mother Teresa said, we can do no great things, only small things with great love.
That's a good one.
It reminds us that we don't have to do everything at once. Sometimes those small actions, those little acts of courage are all it takes to start making a difference.
It's like those small things create a ripple effect, inspiring other people and creating a larger movement for change.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that every step counts. Every effort matters, even the little ones.
I love that idea, that we're all part of something bigger than ourselves.
And it brings us back to that image of the untapped reservoir.
Right, all that potential just waiting to be unleashed.
Imagine what the world could be like if we all really embraced that idea, if we all worked to unleash the potential within ourselves and in each other.
It would be incredible.
Yeah.
A world where everyone feels empowered to contribute their talents, a world where our differences are celebrated, and everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
That's a future worth fighting for.
It really is. Well, folks, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive into the power of women's untapped potential. We hope you found this conversation as inspiring and thought-provoking as we did.
You are all capable of amazing things. Remember that.
Don't be afraid to dream big and take those bold actions to make those dreams a reality. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
We rise from the shadows and dance in the light, unlocking our power, igniting the night. In this deep dive we find strength in our voice, every woman a leader with dreams and a choice. Stand tall and proud, we're breaking the mold, with hearts full of fire, our stories get told. Together we soar on wings wide and free. The deep dive calls to you, come join and you'll see. With passion we conquer, each mountain we climb, an unstoppable force in rhythm and rhyme. In this podcast we shine like stars on the rise, uniting our spirits, breaking the ties. Stand tall and proud, we're breaking the mold, with hearts full of fire, our stories get told. Together we soar on wings wide and free. The deep dive calls to you, come join and we'll see. And we'll see. Come join and see. With passion we conquer, each mountain we climb, an unstoppable force in rhythm and rhyme. In this podcast we shine like stars on the rise, uniting our spirits, breaking the ties. Stand tall and proud, we're breaking the mold, with